Good afternoon, everyone. National Snow and Ice Data Center, otherwise known as NSIDC, Arctic sea ice extent. Notice the bottom. 2 standard deviations. Now, the sea ice this year is increasing incredible amounts. So what did they do? Right side, they changed it interquartile range and interdecile range to make it still appear as if it's below normal ice coverage. Let's put the two together and take a look at what this is. Left side is a 2% standard deviation. Right side is the new range. Orange circles right in the center is exactly what I'm comparing. Notice how different it is. Now, if they would have left the 2% standard deviation, that blue line would be so far up into the 2% that you would definitely notice that something's increasing. The way they change the measurement range, if you will, now it looks like it's still below. But you cannot fake nature. Here it comes. It's going to come back up into that, what looks like other quartile range, even though they try to so much suppress it using science. They still can't suppress the information. Enter David Dilley. Global weather oscillations, global weather cycles, using climate pulse technology to forecast hurricanes and also Arctic sea ice extent. What does that mean to you and me, though? Every 72 years, there's encompassed within that 9 different smaller pulses. It's kind of like what we're experiencing with the grand solar minimum. There's smaller cycles, and then there's larger cycles that override the smaller cycles. When they combine into, you get the overlap. What he did was measure out these different pulses and when they occurred on the timeline. So in 1998, there was a gigantic warm pulse that went up into the Arctic. It takes several years for that water to circulate all the way around, come back out. This is on a 9-year pulse cycle. We noticed a 1990 pulse, 1999 pulse, 2008 pulse. The one that's supposed to occur last year and this year was not warm at all. It was cold. So it was expected that there'd be more sea ice, more growth in sea ice based on the 72-year cycle, which it can also be traced back to longer cycles in itself. No magic, just repeating cycles. Take a look at the sea ice extent October 6th. That yellow line is the average from 1981 to 2010. The global media will have you believe that's melting into infinity and there'll be nothing left, yet look how close it actually is into the average, and this is why the manipulation is going on with the visual data that you see. Because the average person doesn't have the time to dig in and try to find these variances and differences and really go down into the CSV charts and look at all the entries inside by the day and by the week and then compare the ice coverage by the thousands or millions of square kilometers. Most people don't have that time. They look at the synopsis, they look at the daily chart, they get this visual, and they go, oh, see, sea ice is still declining. Well, not really if you're going to compare the two. It's like comparing an apple and an orange. Now they're very, very different. Sea ice, all-time record gains happening right now. They can't explain it. They're trying to mask it. They're trying to cover it up. And here we go into the grand solar minimum. Yet the world's media still is wasting our time to prepare for the largest event of our society in the last 400 years. Thanks for watching, and please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030. Check out the weekly podcast, Mini Ice Age Conversations on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Soundcloud. And I'll see you for the next video.